And we are live, folks. This is the Giant Insider Podcast brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook on the Believe Network. My name is Jerry Foley. This is my partner's Chris Bizignano, who's pulling double duty tonight. He'll be on the ManjaCast at 9 p.m., also on the Believe Network, sponsored by FanDuel. And, folks, first off, I have to apologize for last night. A lot of you apparently were in a YouTube chat that wasn't happening. Unfortunately, I scheduled 2 podcasts this week inadvertently. And Richie Sadner, credit to him, who reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, buddy, you got 30 people in the chat right now." I said, "Holy shit, I didn't delete it." So I had to delete that. So that's why a lot of people are already chiming in, like, how much shit do we give Jerry? I get it, guys. Yeah, I apologize. That was my fault. I created 2 by mistake. So here we are tonight. We are live tonight talking about Cut Down. So the only real surprise was that we did. Yeah, right. And the only real surprise is that we didn't have a podcast last night. Everything else.
Yeah, that was me. That was me, folks. I had a scheduling thing. Jerry wanted to roll after the 53, but I couldn't do it last night. So here we are tonight. So that was all me. Sorry we couldn't get there fast.
That's nice of you, Chris, but you never once said, "Let's go Tuesday night," so that's completely on me. So, anyway, I appreciate that. But yeah, so guys, listen, Cut Down happens, and now all the roster, changing happens today. I wasn't stunned by too much. There were a couple mild surprises, but nothing that was really stunning. There was more like I feel bad that this guy's no longer here kind of thing. And that's Tommy DeVito, but no way were they keeping 4 quarterbacks or cutting Jameis Winston. If anything, we thought they might trade Jameis Winston, but that was put to bed about a week ago or so. So look, of the surprises, I guess we could start with what I was a little surprised with. One, I had predicted Dan Bellinger to get cut. He didn't. They cut Dulcich instead, who's now, I think, on the Miami practice squad. Again, not an earth-shattering move. And Smith-Marsette getting cut and then being re-signed to the practice squad. I thought that was his job to lose. It was given to Gunner. Now Gunner's cut, but that's more of a roster move now that they're going to re-sign. They're going to figure out a way to re-sign Gunner. There's a lot of roster happenings today, but overall, Chris, nothing stunned me by looking at who was cut yesterday at all.
Yeah, I didn't think anything would stun us. Like you said, Jerry, I thought there'd be a couple surprises. Smith-Marsette was a surprise to me. He's back on the practice squad, though, but Gunn is a better receiver. I guess that's the way they wanted to go. Now, because you're going to see a lot of, like they say, roster gymnastics. You're going to see a lot of that the next few days. Gunn is one of them. He'll be back. He'll be back on the 53.
Yeah.
Soon. Marsette's back at the practice squad, and he could be activated 3 times this year and then be put on the roster. So it's not like he's totally gone, right? He's back, and we'll see what they do with him down the road. I thought Austin Schlottman, made the 53 because Zudu was put on IR. I think if Zudu was healthy, he would not have made the 53.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there's a couple of guys, Jerry, because of the depth of this year's roster that they liked, but they had to move on from. They're back in the practice squad. Jake Kubas, who I've been saying that's going to happen to.
Yeah.
About how they really like him, but he's not, because of the numbers and the depth of the offensive line. That wasn't going to happen. He was released, but then he's back in the practice squad. Defensive backs, a little bit of a surprise for me. I did not have Art Green and Nick Jones both making it.
And Corey Black initially made it, right? And then he was
and then he'll be back.
Yeah.
Beginning of camp, I had Art Green and Nick Jones no chance of making it.
Right.
But they played well this summer, and they're on the team for now. This is the initial 53. A lot of things could change. They went out and signed Rico Payton off the claim wire, right? So we'll see what happens now for that. Safety they bring in from the Ravens. That's their sort of like their 4th safety now, right? He'll be inactive.
They were special team signings, right? Because James O'Keefe is asking that. The 2 guys signed today. They're special team signings.
Special teams guys, yeah. We'll see who's active on game days now. That'll be the next step starting September 7th. Defensive line, they usually don't keep more than 5. Chapman Chapman, because of that full back aspect, would they keep 6 to kind of make it like a fullback / defensive line? But look, it's this is what happens with the 53 roster. So he didn't make it. He's back in the practice squad. He'll be active. You'll see him getting elevated some game days.
And Davidson's real quick. Davidson's a guy that at the beginning we didn't think, both of us, I think, believed he wasn't going to make the team. And then he had a pretty strong camp, a couple good games. And then it was, no, he's probably going to make this now. So there's 6. They counted 6 defensive linemen. I don't know. What do you consider Golston, Chris? Edge or lineman?
I have him down as edge. I have 5 DL. Some people have it 5
Yeah.
DL. Some people have 6 DL. I think the Giants might officially had it 6 DL.
Yeah.
I have it 5 DL. Like people have it, whatever.
Yeah.
I have him down as an edge guy.
Yep.
And then the 5 DL that we talked about. Look, Davidson won this job. I thought he could be in trouble beginning of camp because of what they added.
Yep.
And then what happens is camp happens. That's what happens. And he's had a solid preseason in games and on the field. And I said at the end of the night last week, I said, this kid's going to make the team. DJ Davis is going to make the team. And then we'll see what they do with Chapman. And these other guys are going to be gone. He did make the team. Chapman gets released. He's back on the practice squad. Of course, Darius Alexander, the rookie, was going nowhere. And then, obviously, Nacho and Dex and Roy Robinson Harris were on the 53. So pretty interesting. I don't like anything else really surprised.
Well, the other one, you probably weren't surprised by it, but Turbo Miller, were you surprised he was cut or no?
No, I mean, look, I thought he had a shot at making it if they were going to go 4, do a little bit special team, whatever the hell they were going to do there. But we talked about the last podcast. He's not a lock. He's not a lock to make it, He didn't. So I thought, look, he had a good camp. Did he have a chance to make? Sure. We talked about it. I said, how can you cut this guy now? I mean, some of the things. Then the last game you see, and then, but they got him back. He's another guy I'm sure you'll see during the season too.
Yeah.
But they went with the 3 backs. They went with the 4 tight ends. Fedone, obviously.
Really glad they kept Fedone, Chris. Really glad.
Yeah. I mean, look, he was either going to be that old injury acting up before the season starts, where you put him on that short-term IR, or he was going to make the team. They were not taking a chance of waiving him for another team to sign him.
Someone would have signed him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Dolchich is a guy. Look, we talked about it. Had a very strong camp. But folks, I said this on X yesterday. This dude's got a resume. He has a lot of work on film. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not a surprise out of nowhere. Like, oh, how could you release this guy? Sean Payton released him. I mean, so he's a guy. Look, they were trying to get him back, Jerry.
Yep.
And sometimes these things work out, sometimes they don't. So Miami, who was in tight end need, swooped him up today. He signs with them. So so that's what happened with Dolchich. I would like to have seen him back in the practice squad, Jerry. Didn't happen like that. Turbo was on a practice squad. I said it already.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm letting him know.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, Leslie, he's on a practice squad. So they have a few more spots. Gonna be back on the 53, I'm sure. And all that stuff. But like you said, Jerry, look, Tommy DeVito, they won't go with 4 quarterbacks.
Right.
So it's just a matter of what they're going to trade. If are they going to trade Jameis if something comes along where they say, okay, no, they want to go with the veteran still in the quarterback room. They won't keep it 4. Tommy moves on. Now, were the Giants hoping he would clear, but they also knew he wasn't clearing, Jerry. Joe Shane knew he was not clearing. He knew somebody was going to sign him. Okay, they knew they weren't getting him back. They hoped that, hey, maybe he'll get through. Maybe nobody will. There's just too many teams, dude, that need backup quarterbacks, right? And if you thought Tommy, like, I see people out there like, he stinks. Okay. I think I put something out the other day, last week, whatever the hell it was, and I said, when he's not making it through the waivers,
you got a lot of heat for that one too.
And people are like, Chris, he stinks.
Yeah.
Would you stop? I said teams need 2s and 3s. Well, New England couldn't wait to put a claim on him. Okay, he'll probably start off as a 3 over there behind Josh Dobbs, and then Tommy see if he make his way up to 2 behind Drake May. But the Jets were very, very interested in Tommy.
Yeah,
very interested in Tommy. Jets were behind the Patriots in the pecking order. Okay, but they were very interested in Tommy. And somebody told me this morning that there was a few other teams that were pretty interested in Tommy if he would have made it down to them.
Okay.
But So Tommy was not going to make it through. And I wish him well, Jerry. You know, he brought some excitement to this team a couple years ago. So God bless him for that.
Yeah.
And all
It
that
was felt
stuff.
like a little bit of a Jeremy Lin kind of feel for a couple weeks there. It was.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. I was happy. I'm happy for him that he went on the team too. That he got on the team.
Right. Local kid, Jersey guy, the whole deal. And he goes up to Foxborough now with Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. You know, so good luck to him. But if you thought that teams weren't going to be interested in him as a back, I don't know what, you're out of your mind. I mean, especially he had a strong preseason, Tommy. Chris, preseason. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
But he had a strong preseason. He put a lot of good stuff on film. He also did it against the Patriots, who wound up claiming him.
Yeah, right.
So that's a Liam just say, look great in the Pats game. Sure. Josh McDaniels saw that. Mike Vrabel saw that. You know, hey, if the Giants release this dude, let's get him over here. That's what they did. So good luck to him. Like I said, Jerry, not many big. Look, I've been reporting Evan Neal's. I know some people are still kind of like, yeah, you think Evan Neal's making it? You think, he wasn't taking Greg Van Roten's job, right? I've been telling you that for the longest time. And B, he was not in danger of getting caught. So Evan's there.
Yeah, and I guess another surprise is how many cornerbacks they kept, right, or have on the roster. I think that was the other one. But again, nothing crazy. Yeah. Couple position surprises. 3 running backs, like you said, would it be 9 or 10 linemen? Ended up being 10. Schlotman was kept. Zudu went to IR. So nothing was too nuts, nothing too crazy. I know that everyone's saying, they should have cut Hyatt. And look, man, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I want to give Hyatt a shot still, man. I know that he's had several chances, but I do like that he recovered from the drops. He's got way too much talent to just completely give up on. I know that everyone falls in love with the undrafted guys, and kudos to Collins for making it, right? Like the Golden Domer, great job, right? So, but listen, man, let's give Hyatt one more year. I know he hasn't shown much, and what he has shown at times has been really frustrating, but you don't give up on talent like that yet. Just give him one more year, please.
And Dave Hollister over here chiming in is right. This is not a deep wide receiver room.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
I mean, it's not like 4, 5, or 6. We're 5 deep and all that. Oh, we can afford to cut. I mean,
right.
So how you benefited that? It's not a deep wide receiver room. And like Jerry, like you just said, he's also a Manning talent. I call him a Manning talent because sometimes he does things that you say, get rid of this guy. I never want to see him again. And then he'll turn around like the last preseason game and make a catch in a nice catch in the end zone. And you say, man, this kid's got so much talent. We can't give up on him. Right.
Or when he runs a curl route and the corner's so afraid of his speed that he ends up being 10 yards off him. Like, guys, that's the speed. Like, we have speed with him. You got it. I know it's frustrating, but just I'd rather it work out with him than just give up.
What's very important too, dude? You know who really believes in him?
Brian Dable?
Russell.
Russell.
Russell Wilson.
Good.
Probably more than Dable.
Good. Okay,
Russell Wilson really believes in Jalen Hyatt. He thinks this kid has untapped potential. He said that one day during a practice. He really believes in this kid.
Yeah.
Now, we'll see, Jeff, because guess what, my man? We are a week and a half away from the regular season.
Yeah, baby.
So all this crap goes out the window. The game starts soon, and now we see who does what on the field.
Yep.
That's all that's important now.
Yeah.
The 53 is in. Practice squad shaping up. A couple more here. All right, maybe a move or two there. But hey, it's here now. Okay. All the other stuff. Game day is coming closer. Now we see what's up.
Reincarnation of Sonoris Moss. Guys, I get it. Listen, I'm not buying a Jalen Hyatt jersey anytime soon. I'm just saying, let's not. Jarrell Jernigan, Jay Farry says, all right, how many mediocre high round draft picks can we pick? Can we compare them to? I get it, guys. Trust me, I get it. It's very frustrating, but like you said, cut them for who, right? Like Galen Cambry. I don't know. I don't think that would have been too prudent. So, were you surprised Collins made it, Chris, or no?
Jerry, I could look. Let's just say if he didn't, I wouldn't have been a surprise.
Yeah, right.
He did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah. So it kind of goes in line with everything else. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I thought the last game hurt him.
Yeah. Same.
And I'm going to tell you this now. He's not going to get many snaps here. He'll play if he's, if he's active, he'll play a special teams. They got the 4 deep with Hyatt. If he does play some, if he does get in there with injuries down the season, he's gonna drive you mad with some drops. I'm telling you that right now. But he drove me mad last year with the Irish with drops, especially the second half of the year. Drove me freaking bananas. So anyway, listen, like I said, Jerry, if he got released, I wouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah.
If he made it, I wouldn't have been surprised because he's had overall a pretty good camp. Obviously, he made the 53. But speaking of the wide receiver room, right now, when Gunn is back, I guess he'll be the 6th. So that was interesting. I thought little Jordan Humphrey had a shot.
Yeah.
Thought he had a shot.
And now he's on the practice squad, right?
Oh, I know a lot of people are clamoring for Dale and Cambry. Hey, this kid made catches of practice. Folks, it's training camp. Look, I say this every damn year. There's always a couple of guys that really flash in training camp, but not, it's not good. It's not happening. He's not a regular season type guy and all that stuff. God bless him. Cambry made a lot of plays, but practicing middle of August, preseason games, and then regular season, it's just different animals. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just totally different animals. So look, there's some special teams no question, Flanagan fouls. Chris Board, we know wasn't going in because of special teams. And special teams is important now, Jerry. Yep. Because of the guys that are going to be the kick returns now. You're going to have them. The kick return is back. I know it's just shortened field, but it's back. You can't have a guy running out to your 30 the first.
Which is a good thing. Game. I wanted it back, which is a good thing for the game, I think.
So special teams is huge now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You need guys a punt return and all that stuff and a kickoff return. So it's no longer just kicking in the end zone. Okay, to get out to 30. Let's go. No. Everything's guys are coming out. Guys are coming out. Teams are kicking it short of the goal line and kick returners will be coming out, and you want to cut it down, Jerry. You don't want teams starting on a 45-yard line. Okay.
Yep. Right.
So that's important, man. A couple first downs, you're in field goal range. The way these guys kick today, 1 first down if you start on 40 guys in field goal range. You know what I mean? So I think that's anything else surprise you, Jerry? Look, as far as what they did with positions and who they and how many they kept, but nothing else really. Go ahead. Yeah, I know some people. Well, the last month, 3 weeks, I saw people tweeting, "Hey, Chris, you think Singletary, blah blah blah." And I was telling people, he's not in danger. He's not going anywhere. He made it. Look, Devins is a veteran. They trust him when he's on the field. These are big things, Jerry. They trust him when he's on the field. Pass pro, picking up blitzes. He can still run the ball for you a little bit. Now, he did put the ball on the ground last year. You're like, but it's going to be Tyrone.
Commander's game, right?
Scatterball's ramping up. He'll be ramping up. They had a practice today, padded practice today. They'll have another one next week. They're trying to ramp up, stay sharp. They're starting to, I think tomorrow's the first practice. They'll be throwing us a little bit of the game plan for Washington. I think tomorrow Dave's is going to do that.
Nice.
But you have those 3 backs, and Scatterball's going to be a part of this offense, right? But they got to ramp him up. Rusty last week, even he said he was rusty. Got a few carries. He kind of flopped forward 1 carry. He's like, what the hell am I doing? It's not easy missing time, So
also probably excited as hell too. First game. So
honestly, Jerry, that first week against Washington, he'll be in there. I don't expect him to see him a lot. He's the type of kid, as the games go along, he'll be more and more involved in the offense. But we'll see. We'll see. He'll be an interesting guy to watch when he's kind of like, when they feel he's kind of like, oh, okay, we got him up to speed here. Let's roll with this dude. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
So put you on the spot. When the season begins, Chris, who was the starting corner opposite Adebo?
Yeah, that's a great question, Jerry. Look,
the competition that I'm
going to go flat.
I poo-pooed that competition when you mentioned it, so I admit defeat there as well.
Look, I'm not going to look. I think you asked me that in the last podcast. Said, hey, what do you think? Whatever. And I was like, you know what? Oh, I said it anyway. I don't know if you asked me, but I think Floss got the edge. I think this injury by Banks has set him back a little bit. I think it's going to be flat. I think it's going to be flat. Then when the 400 questions come about why is it flat, look, you got a little bit of a setback. Tay's out there. We'll get him. We got all that stuff. look, right now,
Everyone agrees with you in the chat, by the way.
I see everybody's agreeing with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to go flat.
Yeah.
I think he's flashed enough, shown enough. And then, you're also going to have Tay out there too. We'll see what they do. Maybe it's a little bit of a, Taste flat starts, get Tay some snaps. I don't know. We'll see. But I think it's going to be Flott, Phillips, and Adebo. That's what you're going to see, Jerry. The first game against Washington, who now has Terry McLaurin back, so.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Now, by the way, you said that would probably happen. I don't know if Parsons happens by next Thursday, though. I'll say that. So I'm going to stick with that. McLaurin they're going to figure it out, especially for the young quarterback. You cannot take his number one receiver away. That was never going to happen. But I don't know about Parsons, man. That's a shit show down there in Dallas, and I'm enjoying it. By the way, not to change the subject, I watched the 8-part Netflix series on the Cowboys. I recommend Giant fans watching it because at the end, especially towards the end, it gets very depressing for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. So if you want some good TV, give that a look. I watched all 8 episodes. I binge watched it. So I watched from the Barry Switzer years on. It's a mess. See, there you go. Jay Farry's confirming with me.
Okay. Check it out.
Yeah, he's got McLaurin back week 1, so they're ready to roll. Yeah, so I would say, look, you mentioned Neal. I was kind of rooting for Neal to take that over. I didn't think he'd get cut, but I was just rooting for him to get better. First round pick, you wanted him to kind of take that guard position. It was never in danger from Van Roten, like you said, but he just hurt himself in that Patriots game. The 4 pressures in 22 plays. And like you said, anytime he's got to move laterally, it seems to hurt him. I was rooting for him, though, but I get it, man. I get why Van Roten's the starter. It's an easy decision, based on especially what he showed the last game.
I tell you, Joe, can I
yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm not 100% sold on Andrew Thomas for week 1.
Okay. Interesting.
Look, he's moving in individuals right now. But dude, this is he's coming along slowly. He obviously we know he's back. But watching him the other day, I'm not crazy the way way he's moving right now. I'm a little concerned about week 1 with Andrew Thomas. I'm not saying he's not playing. Now we'll see more tomorrow. I'll see how he's moving tomorrow a little bit more, and then next week. We could only really watch individuals, and we got to get the hell out of it. Even now, we're in regular season mode, so we're not sitting there watching the whole practice.
Right.
Actually, tomorrow I believe starts regular season mode. But so I want to see Andrew move better, Jerry. Next week's gonna be interesting. I'm hoping he's moving better. But if you ask me right now, hey Chris, you think 100%? You think Andrew goes week 1? Dude, I gotta say, I'm not sure yet.
All right, $1 million question. If he doesn't go,
who's this guy?
Well, hang on, I gotta call somebody out. My God,
who's this guy?
Kyle Kilday. Love listening to you guys chop it up. Such a relief to have positivity and optimism for the first time in a while. That being said, I cannot make heads or tails what's going on with the Hyatt saga. What's his role even? Shout out to Pepe's Pizza. Kyle, thank you. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you, man. $50.
God.
Wow, Kyle. And Pepe's Pizza, from what I understand, one of the best.
Is that? I guess that's Frank Pepe's in New Haven, I guess.
Up in New Haven. That's That's so I heard it's one of the best around. I've never been there. Although I heard especially from Bobby Sagadorf. Yeah. He always tells us how great that place is. I've never been there. I know Sagadorf invites me all the time. I gotta get up there one day.
I heard I heard you got to get the white clam there, by the way.
Oh yeah?
The white clam pizza, they say.
Yep. All right. So shout out to Pepe's Pizza, Kyle. Welcome aboard. I don't think we've ever mentioned
Kyle,
this guy before. Right?
I'm sorry. Wow, unbelievable. Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you, man.
Almost lost my train of thought. I actually have a $50 question for you, since I tribute to Kyle there instead of $1 million question. $50 question for you, Chris. If Andrew Thomas doesn't go, 2-part question: who do they start? Who do you start?
I would probably go with Hudson and Hudson.
Okay, all right.
I would probably go with Hudson and Hudson.
There was a 50% chance you were going to say Bell there, I thought.
Look, there was a chance, Jerry. You weren't off. You weren't off.
Yeah.
The reason why, Jerry, this is the reason why I go Hudson and Hudson.
Yep.
That was a 2-part question, right? Or am I losing my effort?
Yeah, that's 2. Yeah,
right. Okay. Yeah. Jerry, look, week 1 on the road.
Yep.
Okay. A jacked up Washington crowd.
Mhm.
They got their boy McLaurin back. Jaden's happy. Everybody's happy. This team has NFC Championship on their mind.
Debo,
They he's gonna be he's gonna be a
problem.
big ad for them.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
He's gonna even open up for Zach Ertz, the running backs. Austin, look, Jerry, those two guys will open up a lot of things for these tight ends and running backs.
Mhm.
The crowd is gonna be going ballistic. They feel this team's a Super Bowl contender.
Yep.
It's just I'm going with the veteran Hudson, week 1, just because James has been around. I'm just would be a little worried about Bo as a rookie stepping in there at left tackle in week 1.
Christine with the same comment.
know?
Yep. Good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Marcus Bo, if they turn around and Calm tells Daves, look, I want to go with Bo, and Bo's out there. If Andrew can't go, Jerry, I'm not going to sit go, what are they out of there? Minus like a Zulu type move. No, I'm not doing that either. But I'm just saying, you asked me the question.
Mhm.
I'm going with Hudson and Hudson.
All right. Another question someone asked earlier, I think it might have been Christine. I want to make sure I give the right credit. Christine or Noreen asked about Theo. Is Theo injured? What's the latest with Theo?
Yeah. Well, he didn't practice again today. He wasn't on the field. So since the second preseason game, Theo hasn't been out there. Now it's 10 days away, whatever we are. So next week's the important week now, folks. We'll see who's practicing next week. The first injury report will come out Wednesday, right? There'll be a little bit different schedule next week because they're back Monday. But anyway, the first injury report comes out Wednesday. We'll see then. But look, Theo hasn't been on the field since the second preseason game. So we'll see. I'm not sure what's, like I said, sometimes getting these injuries from Brian Dable, you have a better chance of freaking trying to solve, the nuclear whatever physics solutions, whatever the hell it might be, because Dable's
launching rockets, right?
Unless you find out another way, but Dable's not going to tell you. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with Theo, but there is something going on with Theo, no question. He hasn't been out there. He wasn't out there today. We'll see if he's out there tomorrow. So we hope in 10 days or whatever it is now, 11 days, Theo's ready to roll. I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's anything to be worried about right now. But if I come here next week, our next podcast, Jerry, which might be next Wednesday,
probably,
and I say, "Hey, Jerry, I didn't see Theo out there, and the injury report has him as questionable." It could be an issue. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Give it another week. We'll see if he's out, if he comes back on the field.
Noreen asks a good question. Noreen Schmidt. Serious McLaurin and Parsons question. This close to the season will either be impactful early. Well, I mean, I'll try the Parsons one, yes. I mean, without Parsons, that whole defense changes, right? And you're going against the defending champions, unfortunately. I almost throw up as I say it. But
I think Noreen means individually, Jerry.
Okay.
I think she means will either one, and will McLaurin make an impact? Or will Micah make an impact? I guess because they're rusty and didn't catch up yet. That's
okay. All right.
I think that's what I think that's what Noreen means.
So I think even if he's rusty, Parsons' presence makes an impact. Absolutely. Right. That defense changes with him, even if he's at 70%. It's completely different. With him in there, I think the Cowboys get beaten. With him out, I think they get stomped. I've made that very clear that if you're going to bet anything this year, folks, and I'm not saying to bet the deed to your houses, but I would go to FanDuel and I don't know if the spread is 6 or whatever it is. I'm taking Philadelphia in that one. And I'll put up the card after I do, which will be painful to ever pick Philadelphia, but hey, listen, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know, Chris. McLaurin coming back, a wide receiver who's held out. He's a veteran. What do you think there?
I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be fine. I think he'll make it. I think he'll make an impact against the Giants. Yeah. I think he will. And Micah, just say for argument's sake, he does sign before next Thursday. How many plays does he play? Like 30, 25, 30, 20, 25. Right. Now he's so damn good. He could make an impact on those 20 plays, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see. Look, I know a lot of people think it's done in Dallas. With Jerry Jones, I never consider anything done until I actually see him gone. I know there's heavy rumors I'm reading today about him to the Packers, right? The Packers are making a big deal trade offer to the Cowboys. But, with Jerry Jones, I could see it all of a sudden this weekend, Friday, big deal. It's all taken care of, you know? So we'll see. I mean, I hope he does it, Jerry. He's a cowboy. He's in the division. I hope he does get traded to the Packers. Get him out of here. You know, we'll see him in November. And we'll have to see him one time. Who cares? You know, so but we'll see with Jerry Jones. You know how he is, Jerry Jones. You never know. I know he's pissed. Mike is pissed. Everybody's pissed. And then Jerry comes in with his charm. Let's get this done. You know, so we'll see.
It's a good point. Mike Veneziano, I just want to bring it up. He's a longtime listener. If Theo was an injury concern, there'd be a better chance we'd have kept Dulcich. I don't know if that's true. I think they have Fedone ranked higher than Dulcich anyway, but I understand your point. I maybe they're not as worried about it. Like you said, Chris said, if next week he's not practicing, we'll get more and more worried about it. Folks were asking before about Neighbor's toe. Are you concerned about that?
No, Malik said today he's fine. They wanted to manage. He had a little back tightness. He's got a little, you know, we all know about his toe. He said they were just managing. He's fine. He's ready to roll. Like I said, you know, Malik's ready to roll, man. Malik's ready to roll.
Like we said on the last podcast, we need him healthy. So because behind him, it gets a little hairy. Yeah, look, man, it's a week and a half away. I can't wait. I can't wait to preview the Commanders game next week, dude. We're back into that.
Wow, you imagine that, Jerry? We're previewing games again. Imagine.
Oh my God. Can't wait. Now, James O'Keefe, a Bellinger fan. Don't sleep on Bellinger. All right, James, we won't. Okay, nice. There you go. Faith in Bellinger. Good stuff. Yeah, look, last year we almost took him in Washington, right? And there were a lot of things that just went haywire in that game. Neighbors has the game of his life and then drops a first down pass. And, you know, then we had the kicking fiasco. So a lot of things happened. I think Singletary fumbled. We held him to what? It was all field goals. So it was an insane game.
Yeah.
But we almost took him last year.
We got Graham this year.
Yeah, right. So I can't wait to preview that, dude. I can't wait to get back into that, especially with this team, you know, being stronger this year and being deeper. Like there's still flaws to it. I'm still really concerned about the run defense. I feel better if it's Flott over Banks. I like the way Flott played in preseason too, Chris. He was real physical. He was on top of receivers. Like in that last preseason game, man, you saw him. I think it was the last one, or maybe it was the Jets game. He was all over whoever he was covering. I like the effort he showed, and you know the thing.
I think it was Garrett I want to play. Right? Was it Garrett?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And the thing that when he came into the league, it was, well, he's awfully skinny and small. He looks like he's gotten more physical over the last 4 years. So kudos to him if he does start. And I feel a lot better about him than I would have even last year, you know, starting.
Yeah. Well, the real issue with Flotts, right, Jerry, hasn't been so much talent. It's been staying on the field.
Yeah, I know. Another one. Yep.
It's been staying on the field. You know, he's always been hurt.
Yeah. I don't agree with that, Mike. Mike Veneziano says Banks a better matchup versus Samuel and Flott. We'll see. I don't know. You know, Banks.
Mike's thinking body wise, you know,
size wise. Yeah,
Debo's a big boy, and you know, and Tate Banks is a physical dude, and all that stuff. So I get your point, Mike. We'll see.
Yeah,
you know, we'll see.
Yep. Good stuff. All right, so looking up and down this roster, Chris, I'll just ask you one more time. Does anything else jump out at you? I know they got 13 guys now on the practice squad. You know, I guess they're going to sign 3 more. Is there any particular place you'd want them to sign, or you know, what are you thinking there, or is it just, you know what, let's roll with what we have? There's not much else out there, you know.
We'll see. I'm trying to think of guys they cut that might be back, but I'm not even really thinking. I guess another wide receiver. I can see a wide receiver coming in here.
Yeah.
Joe Shade said today, you know, they made only 2 claims, got them both.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 defensive backs.
Yeah.
Maybe help out specials.
Yep.
You know, all that stuff. They kept 10 offensive linemen. So maybe a wide receiver. You know, look, that's a position to keep an eye on.
Yep.
Wide receiver. And they feel good about the tight end room, the running back room. Now Dante's back on the practice squad, so I can see him. They feel good about the 4 backs. I know 3 on the 53, but they could always elevate.
Sure.
Turbo, you know.
Yep.
So you look at this team. I think Joe Shade and Dave are pretty excited about this roster, Jerry. I think they feel they've upgraded the talent, the depth. You know, I think they really love the locker room. They love the way these guys are pretty close. They love what Russell Wilson brings to this team. The leadership. Obviously, the talent, it's an upgrade in the quarterback room. I'm not going to dump on Daniel, but Dable's never going to say that. But of course, they know it's an upgrade in the quarterback room.
Yeah.
Um,
You can make the argument that it's upgrading all three guys, but whatever. That's the end of that. So,
right. So, look, when Dable was asked a couple of days ago, who's your backup quarterback? Who's your number two?
yeah.
Is Jackson your number two? And Dable just said, we'll see. So we'll see how that plays out.
What do you think there? What do you think they'll do week one?
Look, I'm going to week one. Look, I'll stick to my Jackson's number two, but
okay.
It
wouldn't stun you if it was Winston, though.
It wouldn't stun me. A hostile environment. If something happens to Russell, get that veteran Jameson too. So I could see that too with Jameis number two, which they kind of been saying in their own way. I mean, let Jackson sit back and learn at the beginning. We'll see. We'll see. But it'd be interesting if the game was at home.
Right. Yeah.
It'd be interesting if the game was at home. But this is obviously in Washington. And they might be sitting back, Jerry, saying, hey, if Russell goes down, if he gets injured, we got a veteran who's not going to be affected by this crowd at all.
Right.
Right. So we'll see how that plays in. We'll see. He said we'll see. But we will see. I mean, Dable's he's not going to tell us anyway next week who's number two.
Yeah, right.
And folks, you got to remember, we only watch like 15 minutes of practice now.
Yep.
And then they go into game planning practice. We're not allowed to watch that, obviously. So we'll see how that works out.
Apparently, Dable listens to the Giant Insider podcast because Shane said that Dable loves Fedoni's catch radius. Boom, I dropped that last week. So thank you, Brian, for listening to the Giant Insider podcast. If you're listening tonight, so I heard that today. I was laughing, but look, that's obviously a common term. I'm joking, but no, you could see it. Like, and someone just commented. James O'Keefe says Dave's looked like a kid in a candy store during the presser. That's kind of what you get his feeling on this team, right? And I was at one practice. Chris is there all the time. I'm at one practice against the Jets. And I saw the way he's interacting with the team. Now, I don't know if he does that all the time, but it seemed like he's in a pretty good mood when he's with his team. And it seems like he's enjoying himself. So for someone who looked like, let's be honest, the pressers last year, especially towards the end of the season, a guy looked like he couldn't get the hell out of there quick enough. He seems to be reborn, at least from what I've seen. I'm sure you've seen it a lot more, Chris, but that was my impression. So,
yeah, I think he is. I saw him a little. You talking about Dable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him a little down yesterday at the Zoom because it's tough cutting all these guys. Right?
Oh, sure.
He didn't look himself yesterday on the Zoom. Because it's not easy, Jerry. You're telling 20-something guys, whatever it might be. Listen, you're out of here. We'll try to get you back to the practice squad, but you're gone, and there's nothing we can do. No, you know what I mean? It's like it's not easy. You know what I mean? So you could tell Dave was a little bit different yesterday because look, he likes these guys. He's been around these guys for a while, for months since the OTAs, and now you got to tell him you're gone. So, but it is the business. Everybody understands that. It's the NFL, right?
Yep.
But yeah, I think everybody is pretty fired up about this team. I think the feeling is, Jerry, is that, hey, nobody thinks we're going to win more than 4 games. FanDuel has us at 5.5.
Yes, they
do. The way I got that FanDuel thing in there?
Yes, I do. Yes. Another one. I'm taking the over, baby.
Right. I think they look at it like, okay, we're going to surprise some people.
Real quick, guys, I don't want to jinx the Giants. I don't know if I'm taking the over. I'm betting the Eagles over the Cowboys. I don't know if I'm taking the over. I don't want to jinx the Giants. So go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I just think they look at it like, hey, we're going to surprise some people. We got a pretty damn good football team. And we can't wait to get this going because nobody thinks we're going to win 4 games. You know what I mean? 5 games. So we're going to surprise some people. I think Russell has Dave's. Look, the upgrade of Russell has Dave's excited too. I think he feels they could do a lot more things on the field now with Russell. Because this Jackson Dart stuff now, right? You don't have to answer those questions anymore. Now, the game's start now. Now it's just Russell. Like I said last week, this is Russell's team now.
Yeah.
If you want to ask, what's up with Jackson? Number 2, whatever. But this is Russell. Forget about Jackson Dart now. All we talked about since July 27th, whatever camp started, 24th, was Jackson Dart. Well, we're not talking Jackson Dart anymore. Week 1 is in 11 days. This is Russell Wilson, right? Can he put points on the board? Can he get the team in the end zone? That's all that's important now. This is Russell Wilson's team. What could Brian Dable, Mike Kafka, and Russell Wilson do? Could they really improve this offense? I'm sorry, Jerry.
No. So my thing's not as important. James O'Keefe brings up not only Dave's, but losing the fake bell and new Enter Sandman. Someone else at 1925 Drive listens to the Giant Insider. So as you all know,
I didn't know that. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa.
Yeah,
they changed it.
They faked the fake bell, and they said, and they said this. Someone messaged us the other day. I forget. It might have been James. That the bell is gone, and the Enter Sandman is played instead of Hell's Bells. So Chris was pretty vocal over the years of, please get rid of Hell's Bells. I hated the bell.
Finally, I did not know that.
So if both are gone and they listen to the Insider, thank you so much for getting rid of both.
Like I said, Jerry, a lot of people listening.
Well, there you go. And of course, Tuto always chimes in. Thanks, buddy. Massive respect to New York Giants Italian Media Podcast, Jerry Biz, and all the diehard fans across the pond in America. Greetings from our entire rugby team in Italy. Tuto, you are the man, buddy. Thank you so much.
So Hell's Bells is out at kickoff now?
That's what James said, and I think it might have been James. Someone else said it, that Hell's Bells is no longer played.
They're not playing it this year. Oh, okay.
Enter Sandman.
We'll find out against the Chiefs.
I was too. So apparently Noreen saw it as well.
Wow. So, okay. I'm so happy.
And I couldn't stand that stupid bell. I'd rather do nothing than ring a fake bell. So thank you. Yeah. So James says, yep, so far and no bell. That is huge.
Noreen said it. Thank God.
Noreen's confirming. So there you go.
Well, let's see now, Jimmy. I got to see if I could go on a Yankee podcast, like a Yes Network. And maybe they could get rid of that stupid sound with 2 outs.
That's the Death Star. The Death
Star Wars. I didn't know that. I thought it was a stuck whale last year until you told me it was Star Wars.
Like, nah, dude, that's Star Wars. Yeah.
Like, what is that stupid sound they keep doing? This idiot stadium.
See that
you told me no, it was Star Wars.
The problem with that is they're leaning into being the evil empire, but no one fears the Yankees anymore, especially when they get their asses kicked by the Red Sox. So I'll say it. The Yankees. I'm going to get a lot of hatred on this one. I don't care, guys. The Yankees are becoming what the Cowboys are now. Famous and irrelevant. There you go. That's what they are. So they're more concerned with marketing than they are about winning. And evidenced by the fact that you still have Aaron Boone as your manager. So there's that.
Jerry dropping Yankee bombs on the Giant Insider podcast. I could tell. I know Jerry a while. I could tell he is not happy with his pinstripes.
It's a joke.
Well, still a lot of baseball left. But hey, I'm glad. I did not know that news. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to listening to something else for once. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Jamie, in a very weak American League. Yeah, World Series last year. I mean, everyone knew they were losing to the Dodgers, and they completely embarrassed themselves in the World Series. So there you go.
Jerry, let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Malik Davis has the most catches on the team. That's what we predict, I'm sure, for 2025. Mm-hmm. Who's your second leading receiver, reception-wise?
Well, it has to be Wan'Dale Robinson. I want to say Theo Johnson, but it'll be Wan'Dale Robinson.
Or Wan'Dale?
Yeah. Well, who do you have?
I'm probably going to go with you on it right now. I'm probably going to go with you on Wan'Dale. But you know what's interesting, Jerry? It's like, I'll tell you what's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Daniel was here, so much of the offense was get the ball out of his kick. Quick, get it out quick. Those short little hits to Wan'Dale, the offensive line, obviously part of that problem. Like Russell brings a different game.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Russell does a boot. He'll have a lot. Like Daniel had boots. Don't get me wrong, but Russell's gonna have boots throwing it down the field. Russell loves tight ends. I'm not so sure Wan'Dale's gonna be targeted as much as he has been.
Good point.
And has many receptions. You gotta watch guys like Slay. You know what I mean? And Theo. I think Slay and Theo, because like Daniel, how many times, Jerry, we see so many Daniel just three-step boom, the Wan'Dale. You're like Daniel, like basically Dave will just get out of here quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be different now with Russell. So
if Theo's healthy all year, who has more? If both are healthy, Slayton and Theo, who has more catches?
I'm gonna go Slay.
Okay, I would go
I'm
Theo.
gonna go Slay slightly more than Theo.
All right. Yep.
I'm gonna go Slay. I think with Russell healthy, I think Slay is gonna be much more involved.
Yep.
More involved than Wandell has been the last few years, Jerry.
All right.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, that's what Mike Veneziano's saying. You know, he had 140 targets last year, and like Mike's saying, that's not happening again. I agree with you, Mike.
Mike dropping analytics.
Mike, nor should it happen again.
Nice. Oh, that's funny. Like, nice job, Mike.
It was a cyberpunk.
I don't know. Mike, Chris looks like he's in
cyberpunk. What the hell
with
is
the
that?
one tech looking lens. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
We just figured out how to do a background, guys. Oh, by the way, do you like my the Serby thing behind me? I have it up. I told Steve Serby.
Oh, could you show? No, I can't really see it, Jerry.
I told Serby it would be behind me. Oh, damn it. There you go. See?
Oh, okay, cool.
There you go.
Got it.
There it is. So
cool. There it is.
Told you, Serbs.
You were kind of blocked out there. Now I see it. Okay.
Yeah, nice. All right, dude. Fun time. I'm glad this is back. Oh, he's talking about your glasses. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. I can't help it. Sorry, Jake.
Well, what's his name? Joey Z was supposed to help. I'm just joking, Joey. You know I'm joking.
Wow.
Good stuff. I know. I'm calling him out. By the way, I got to thank both Richie Sabner and Liam for contacting me last night about the live chat. Like I said, Richie contacted me on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, man, you know you have 30 people in your chat right now." And then Liam's like, "Man, podcast night or what?" So both of you, thank you both. I forgot to mention it before. So good stuff. And funny, nice, being really resourceful. Contacting me on LinkedIn, Richie. That was awesome. And I was on New Jersey Transit anyway at the time because they suck. So I would have missed the podcast anyway. So there you have it. All right, dude. Went through the roster. Anything else? Suck. I mean, I'm just looking forward to this friggin' season to start. So,
well, it's almost here, brother. That's all I got. We'll see each other next week.
Yeah, and guys, tune into the I'll do the promo for you. Tune into the ManjaCast, folks, tonight on the Believe Network, sponsored by FanDuel, at 9 p.m. So you want to talk about what you're doing there? You went somewhere, right?
Yeah, well, we'll be talking about a restaurant. We went to a little food. Obviously, that's what it's about, and a lot of NFL talk around the league. Bob Papa calling it, hitting it right on the head, saying Tommy's going to New England. I'm telling you.
All right.
And Papa was right. Tommy went to New England.
Good stuff.
He called that. So a lot of NFL talk, a lot of some food talk. You see a little clips of us at a restaurant in Hoboken. So it'll be some good stuff. Yeah, we'll talk a little Tommy DeVito and all that stuff. So we'll talk next week. We will be talking about, if we come on next Wednesday, me and Jerry, excuse me, we'll be talking about the first injury list.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
So Noreen Schmidt, real quick. Oh, good. ManjaCast. I got to get the dog walk after this. So look at that. Walking the dog. So
plenty
you can
of time,
sit down
Noreen.
and watch the ManjaCast at 9.
Yeah.
And Dan Mann says, big game for your Irish Sunday, Chris.
Notre Dame fighting Irish, baby. Sunday night against the University of Miami. So big. Hey, look, Texas, Ohio State, Saturday afternoon. Archie Manning, right? Wow. That should be interesting.
Talk about getting right into it.
Yeah, number 1 ranked Texas, number 2, I think Ohio State, or 3, wherever they are.
Yeah.
So that should be something else too. A lot of good games this weekend. Labor Day weekend with college football. So
Jamie says Tommy went from cutlets to chowder. Good stuff there, buddy. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Miami does have the quarterback from Georgia now, Carson Beck. And they're supposed to be a really good team.
I like Carson Beck.
Yeah, they're supposed to be a really good team. Irish, supposedly, our defense is pretty stacked again. Freshman quarterback. Quite a challenge in Miami. So we'll see how that goes Sunday night.
All right, dude. Good stuff. Thanks for joining us, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will see you probably next Wednesday when we preview the Giants opening game in Washington, baby. Sundays are Giant days. Take care, everyone.
Be good.